In this video, we will be discussing about the next function of small intestine, that is absorption, and after absorption, how the nutrients or the food materials are assimilated by the different cells of our body, right? Okay. So now absorption process is completed from the jejunum and ileum part of the small intestine. So the small intestine is specially designed for the absorption process. Now this inner lining of the small intestine is having some finger-like projections, right? I'll just draw and show how, suppose this is the small intestine tube and this is the opening part. We can see like this structures, finger-like structures in the small intestine tube. Now what are these finger-like structures called? These finger-like structures are called as the villi. Okay. So the villi facilitates the process of absorption. How do they facilitate the process of absorption? Suppose if I draw one such villi, it is in this condition. So like this, many are there throughout the inner lining. Like this, villi are there and it is richly supplied with the blood vessels. So these are the blood vessels, right? So I will draw it in red so that you can understand how the blood moves in the tube. Okay, so this is the blood vessels. So now as it is richly supplied with the blood vessels, so whenever the food comes in contact with the villi cells, they absorb the food by endocytosis process. You have studied endocytosis in class 9, taking in something which enters into the cell. So the cells which are present here in these locations, when now this is the tube of the small intestine, when the food particles, they move through this surface, the inner surface of the small intestine. These food particles, they get absorbed by the cells of this villi. Okay, so they get absorbed by the cells of this villi. Now what exactly the role played by villi? If I draw only one surface here, will it absorb more? Or if I draw the same place, if I make it into folded structures, whose surface area is more? Definitely the curved surface area is more than the plain surface area. So this is what the role played by the villi. So the villi increases, right? So the villi, it increases the surface area of absorption. Okay, the surface area of absorption. Clear? And second most importance, it is richly supplied with blood vessels. So whatever nutrients are absorbed by the villi, they all will be immediately mixing into the bloodstream. Clear? So the glucose, amino acids and the fat simple molecules like the glycerols and the fatty acids, they all will mix with the blood and blood takes them into different parts of our body. So each cell will be receiving their nutrients. How much nutrient is to be provided, that much nutrient will be provided to each and every cell of our body. Clear? So this is happening in the jejunum and ileum part, right? So after that what happens? So almost in these locations you can say this is the location of absorption. Yeah, so this is the location of digestion completion, then these are the locations of absorption. So once the food is digested completely, now this part of the small intestine will be absorbing the food. Then what happens? This enters into the large intestine. So large intestine role is for the water absorption. So it has also villi-like structure which facilitates majorly for water reabsorption from the food paste which is going through. So now after the reabsorption of water, the undigested food which remains, it passes from this part to this parts throughout this large intestine, then it is stored in the rectum, and later it is removed out through the anus, right? So undigested food moves in the large intestine, the water reabsorption happens in the large intestine, and finally it is stored in the rectum, and later it is removed out through the anus, right? Now we have now completed what is happening in the digestive system. So one more part is assimilation, which is there also in the nutrition process. So assimilation doesn't only take place in the digestive system. Assimilation stage of the nutrition, holozoic nutrition, takes place throughout our body. So all the cells, how they utilize the food nutrient is called as assimilation. So let us see how the assimilation takes place in different parts of our body. So let me erase this, and now we will be discussing the process of assimilation. So assimilation is what? It is the utilization. How the nutrients are utilized to build our body, to get energy, to repair our body, to sustain the life. Clear? So we will write the molecules. Glucose. Okay. Glucose is the carbohydrate simple molecule. The amino acids. Okay, this is the protein simple molecule, and the fatty acids and the glycerols. Okay, this is the fat simple molecule. Glucose is utilized for, you have already studied in lower classes, it is utilized for cellular respiration. Okay, cellular respiration to get energy, right? Okay, now amino acid is utilized for building our body, to make required proteins. Okay, to make required proteins for our body, right? Fatty acid and glycerol to repair and build. To repair and build different parts of the body. Fatty acids, they also can store sometimes the energy. They can be converted into the carbohydrate molecule, and they can also be providing us the energy requirement of our body. Now for the amino acids, how they actually build our body. Clear? So when we take, suppose we are taking a plant protein and it is making muscles and bones for us. So how it is happening? Plant protein is different, plant structure is different, plant's constitution is different, whereas the human is totally composed of flesh, bone, all those things. Our protein is different. So how actually it happens? Actually, as I told you, I gave you the example of a wall made up of brick. Suppose you think the plant protein, the pulses, what you eat, or any greens, what you eat, all those things, it is like a wall which is given to you. Clear? So if I give you a wall made up of bricks, and actually your requirement is to make a small hut, right? But the bricks are not provided to you. The bricks are provided in a constructed wall form. So what you are going to do? You will be first getting the bricks, right? So first you have to break the wall and make it into single brick. Later you will have your own design and you will make a small hut for yourself. That is what happens in our body also. So when we take the plant protein or any other protein, so first it is like the wall of amino acids, right? We need actually the raw material amino acid to make our protein, right? So what we will do, the digestive system first will break the protein into single units of amino acids. So you just imagine the wall, you are getting the brick and you are making a hut of your own choice. Now the single brick is provided to all the cells. The cells will make their protein, okay, their own hut according to their own choice. So they have the raw material now, the bricks are there, the bricks of amino acid. So later they will utilize this amino acids and they make the human or animal proteins in their body. Clear? So this is all about the process of holozoic nutrition in human being. In the next video, we will be discussing the process of breathing and respiration.